Wen-je's bail reversed in Living Mall case, heads to court for review. Typhoon Yagi threatens Taiwan, more storms expected ahead of Mid-Autumn Festival. Taichung police officers arrested in corruption scandal. Venezuelan judge issues arrest warrant for former prez candidate. Major airline grounds Airbus A350 fleet. U.S. government seizes plane used by Venezuelan president. New Zealand nearly triples fees for international tourists. South Korea trials 4-day workweek.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Thursday, September 5th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, Taiwan People's Party Chairman Wen-je, former Taipei mayor, was implicated in relaxing Living Mall's floor area ratio to 140%, initially released without bail. The High Court overturned the Taipei District Court's ruling on September 4th, sending the case back for review. Ke left home at 7:10 a.m., called the media frenzy overblown, but declined to answer questions before heading to his office at Taiwan Glass Building. Taiwan is still impacted by Typhoon Yagi's outer circulation, bringing rain to the southeast and thunderstorms to central and southern regions. Yagi may intensify into a superstorm, and two more tropical systems could form in the coming days, potentially affecting Taiwan next week and around Mid-Autumn Festival. A corruption scandal involving multiple Taichung police officers has emerged. Prosecutors, assisted by the Agency Against Corruption and Investigation Bureau, raided police stations, arresting 12 officers for allegedly altering traffic fines for personal gain. They are now under investigation for corruption and document forgery. A Venezuelan judge on Monday issued an arrest warrant for the opposition's former presidential candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, as part of a criminal investigation into the results of the highly anticipated July election that both the ruling party and its opponents claimed to have won. The warrant was issued at the request of authorities who accused Gonzalez of various crimes, including conspiracy, falsifying documents, and usurpation of powers. The move is the latest escalation of repression against the opposition in the month since election officials declared President Nicolas Maduro the winner of the third term in office.
Authorities sought the warrant after Gonzalez failed to appear 3 times to answer questions from prosecutors. Gonzalez, 75, has not made any public appearances since the day after the election. Prosecutors have focused on thousands of tally sheets known as actas, lengthy printouts resembling shopping receipts, which are considered key evidence of election results in Venezuela. Each of the 30,000 electronic voting machines used in the July 28 election printed several copies of these sheets, with the information also transmitted to the National Electoral Council. Hours after polls closed, ruling party loyal electoral authorities declared Maduro the victor, but they did not publish results by voting machine as in previous elections.
Hong Kong's flagship airline announced Tuesday that it had found 15 aircraft with components needing replacement after an in-flight engine part failure prompted an inspection of its entire Airbus A350 fleet. Cathay Pacific grounded 48 planes for the inspection, forcing the cancellation of 24 round-trip flights on Tuesday and 10 more on Wednesday, mostly on routes within Asia. The airline stated that long-haul flights would not be affected. The inspection was ordered on Monday after flight CX-383 experienced a problem shortly after takeoff from Hong Kong and had to turn around.
Data from the flight tracking platform Flightradar 24 showed that the Zurich-bound flight landed safely back in Hong Kong about 75 minutes after its departure. Upon landing, Cathay Pacific reported an engine component failure on the Airbus A350-1000 aircraft. The airline stated, this component was the first of its type to suffer such a failure on any A350 aircraft worldwide. Cathay Pacific is one of the largest operators of the A350-1000, with 18 in its fleet. It also has 30 of the smaller, more popular A350-900 planes, which were also grounded for inspection. Both planes are powered exclusively by engines from British manufacturer Rolls-Royce.
The U.S. government has seized a plane used by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro that officials say was illegally purchased through a shell company and smuggled out of the United States, citing violations of sanctions and export control laws. The Dassault Falcon 900EX was seized in the Dominican Republic and transferred to the custody of federal officials in Florida. U.S. officials say associates of the Venezuelan leader used a Caribbean-based shell company to hide their involvement in the purchase of the plane, valued at $13 million at the time, from a company in Florida.
The plane was exported from the U.S. to Venezuela through the Caribbean in April 2023 in a transaction meant to circumvent an executive order that bars U.S. persons from business transactions with the Maduro regime. The plane, registered in San Marino, was widely used by Maduro for foreign travel, including trips earlier this year to Guyana and Cuba. The seizure announcement comes just over a month after Venezuelans headed to the polls for a highly anticipated presidential election, in which ruling party-loyal electoral authorities declared Maduro the victor without providing detailed results to back up their claim. The lack of transparency has drawn international condemnation against Maduro's government.
New Zealand will nearly triple entry fees for tourists, spurring criticism from the key tourism sector, which argues that the higher levy will deter visitors. The government has stated it would increase the international visitor and conservation and tourism fees starting October 1st from 35 New Zealand dollars to 100 New Zealand dollars to ensure visitors contribute to public services and high-quality experiences while visiting New Zealand. Like many popular global tourism spots, New Zealand has struggled with the impact of tourism on the natural environment, with infrastructure stretched by the large numbers.
The $35 fee was introduced in July 2019, but it has not been sufficient to cover the costs associated with the influx of visitors. The government said the fee is competitive and expressed confidence that New Zealand will continue to be seen as an attractive destination. However, the country's Tourism Industry Association believes the higher fees will discourage visitors, especially as the sector, once New Zealand's biggest export earner, is still struggling to recover from the strict border closures implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic. The New Zealand government has also recently increased the costs of visitor visas, and there is a proposal to raise charges at regional airports.
South Korea, known for its grueling work hours and having one of the highest average annual work hours in the world, has launched a groundbreaking experiment to improve the well-being of its workforce. The country has implemented a 4-day workweek trial in Gyeonggi province, allowing employees from over 50 organizations to choose between a shorter workweek every fortnight or reduced hours each week. This trial is part of a broader global movement advocating for a reduced workweek. One of the key reasons behind the trial is to allow couples more time together while also addressing larger societal challenges.
South Korea's notoriously demanding work culture has led to elevated stress levels and widespread burnout among workers. In late 2023, the government faced strong opposition, particularly from younger workers, after proposing to extend the maximum workweek to 69 hours. Concerns over well-being and work-life balance led to the plan's withdrawal, prompting a reassessment of work policies. As the 4-day workweek trial begins, proponents argue that it could reduce stress and burnout without sacrificing productivity. This shift is viewed as a critical move to address South Korea's falling fertility rates and shrinking population, as the country's demanding work culture has forced many women to choose between family and career.
The answer for yesterday was B, widespread. The news of the policy change caused widespread concern among the public. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of South Korea trial's 4-day workweek. Number 1, groundbreaking. 开创性的,突破性的. The scientists' groundbreaking research has changed the way we understand climate change. Number 2, advocate. 主张,提倡. She advocates for stronger environmental protection laws to combat climate change. Number 3, proponent. 支持者,拥护者. He is a strong proponent of renewable energy and believes it's the future of power generation. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.